Hi friends, I'm Abby and welcome back to my channel. Today I am looking at the 10 best books I've read according to Goodreads. So I recently posted my favourite books of all time and what I have put at the top of my list, which I can link. So those are my favourite fantasy books. Yeah, that's how I defined it. It's my favourite fantasy series, all those favourite books. But after seeing this video on both Klaus from the Contradictorian and Jolene's channel, I thought it'd be fun to look at my list. So I'll link both of their videos because that's where I got the idea, and I thought it'd be fun to look at this in reflection to what I actually put at the top of my list. So I will go through the top 10 books, or the highest rated books that I have read according to Goodreads, and I'll let you know my rating for them as well. A few of these are like the same series, so I thought I would just, if the series has already appeared, then it's in already. Like, I'm not going to have multiple books of the same series, if that's okay. I thought that would diversify the list a little bit instead of having like the whole series being the whole list being like Harry Potter, because those books are very highly rated according to Goodreads. Okay, so coming in at number 10, we have one that was very near the top of my list, is The Empire of Gold, the third book in the David Bad trilogy by S.A. Chakraborty, with a total of 22,280 ratings, and I gave this 5 stars. Like, obviously, this was a 5-star book for me. If you don't know already, I love the David Bad trilogy, so very happy to see that it's making its way into the top 10, because it's where it deserves to be. I mean, it deserves to be at the top, but it's fine. At least the David Bad trilogy has made it into the top 10. In at number 9, again with 4.51, is The Complete Mouse by Art Spiegelman. So this is one of the actual few, I guess, graphic novels that I've read. This has a lot of ratings, a lot more than I expected. 161,962. I give this a 4-star rating. Graphic novels aren't really my thing. I don't really know how to judge them, really. I don't really read that many of them. This is one, I mean, you can tell based on the cover, it's inspired by World War II and the rise of Hitler in Germany. I can't really remember that much about it, but it was about mice. But yeah, that's in at number 9. I mean, I read this 2016, so quite a while ago. I mean, I guess it's got a very impactful message, so I can see why it's rated so highly. And I can't really comment on the art style because I can't really remember. Coming in at number 8 is A Storm of Swords by George R.R. Martin, the third book in the Song of Ice and Fire series, with a 4.53 average rating, and 699,887 people have rated that, and I gave it 5 stars. So I read this. It's in as 2014, but that's a lie because that's when I started my Goodreads, and I read it before I started Goodreads. I read this in 2013, I believe. So, it's not quite 10 years ago. I'm sorry, it's just a shock of thinking that it's almost been 10 years since I read those Game of Thrones books. I would say that is the best one in the 5 books that are out from memory. It's easily the best one out of them. The issue is that because I read it in 2013, I don't think I'm going to be continuing with the series. Can you be quiet, please? I'd need to reread, and I don't feel like I have the desire to reread. Even if is Winds of Winter ever going to come out? Is it really? But I mean, it's not a surprise to see it on this list. I'm not surprised to see a Game of Thrones book here, and that one is the best one in the series, so it would make sense. That was number 8. So number 7. We have Clockwork Princess, the third book in the Infernal Devices by Cassandra Clare, with 389,217 ratings. And I gave this 5 stars as well. So obviously I'm agreeing with what's in the top because I'm giving these books 5 stars. This, it says 2014 again. I don't know if this was before I started Goodreads or if it was at the very beginning of Goodreads that I rated this book. Potentially it might have been that, June 2014 when I read this, potentially. So I don't know what I would rate it now, but I think the Infernal Devices is one of the best books Cassandra Clare has, one of her best series. It's much better than the Mortal Instruments. And I do actually want to reread it because I haven't finished. I do still quite enjoy Cassandra Clare's books. They're very, very fun. And I haven't finished her latest series with Chain of Gold, Chain of Iron. I've read Chain of Gold, but I felt like because it's a continuation from this Infernal Devices series, that I would have benefited from rereading that. So part of me is thinking that I will reread before continuing in the Last Hours series. But yeah, I mean, Cassandra Clare is very popular and that is one of her best books, so okay, yeah, not surprised. I mean, there's quite a few, yeah, I guess YA books here, or like very popular back in the day, like 2014 YA books when I was reading them. I have Kingdom of Ash, the final book in the Throne of Glass series by Sarah J Maas, with a 4.56 average rating and 191,950 ratings in total, and I gave this 5 stars. So I agree. I mean, I really, really like the Throne of Glass series, so that's not a surprise. It is one of my favourites, and I have been reading it for many, many years, so at all surprised to see it. I mean, Sarah J Maas's books are very, very highly rated. A lot of us really thoroughly enjoy them. I know she gets a bit like divisive on the internet, but I think overall the majority of people that read her books really, really enjoy them. And then another YA popular book is Crooked Kingdom, the second book in the Six of Crows duology, with a 4.59 average rating, and I gave this 4 stars. I mean, actually, and there's 346,827 ratings in total. I think the series is overrated. I mean, if you can see, like everything up until now that I've talked about, I gave 5 stars, apart from the Complete Mouse, but I just don't think that's a book for me. But I think that the Six of Crows duology is overrated. It's good, but it's not 5 stars. But I guess I'm alone in that because, I mean, it's very, very, very highly rated. So I will stick with my slightly unpopular opinion of not giving that one 5 stars. Because everyone seems to love it. I mean, 4.59 is a very high rating. In the number 4 spot, again with 4.59, is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J Maas, the second book in the A Court of Thorns and Roses series, with 515,827 ratings. And I did give this one 5 stars. I think this, although I think as a whole the Throne of Glass series I prefer as a series, I think this is I think this might be my favourite Sarah J Maas book as a whole. Like, I have read this book, I don't know, multiple times now. I thoroughly enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. It's a very, very fun read. We then have a bit of like a surprise entry here. Shock entry with, and I'm very actually happy about this one, is The Boy, the Mole, the Fox and the Horse by Charlie Mackesy. With 82,240 ratings, I gave it 5 stars. It's not really like that much of a book. Like, you can read it in, I don't know, under an hour probably, and it's just beautiful. Like, just the illustrations are beautiful, like the messages are beautiful. Like, it's just a beautiful little book. I don't really know what you'd class it as. It's not fantasy. It's not like, I don't know what genre it fits in at all. But it's just beautiful, like beautiful images, beautiful message, beautiful, like if you haven't read the book, then you should follow Charlie Mackesy on Instagram, because his like messages always brighten up my day whenever I see them. So I'm very happy that's in there. At the number 2 spot, we have Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows by J.K. Rowling, with a 4.61 average rating and 3,073,020 ratings. So I think that's the most ratings there are. Like out of all of them, the Harry Potter series is easily the most rated of all these books. Like, it's got a lot of ratings. But actually, what's really interesting is that's got over 3 million ratings. But the 6th, that's got way more ratings than like the other books. Like, the 6th book, the 4th book, because they've all come up in this top 5. I haven't mentioned them because I was only mentioning one book per series. But like, those only have those are in the 2 millions. So why's the 7th book got over 3 million when the other ones only have 2? Like, what? were people just not rating the rest of the series? I don't know. At the time of reading this, when it came out, I gave it 5 stars. It was thoroughly enjoyed at the time, and yeah, and I guess a lot of people have read Harry Potter and a lot of people have loved it. Not that we really talk about it anymore, but I digress. And moving on to the number 1 spot on the list is The Way of Kings by Brandon Sanderson, the first book in the Stormlight Archive, which has a 4.61 average rating and 358,087 ratings in total, and I gave this one 5 stars. There we go. We've got Brandon Sanderson in there with a very, very high average rating. I mean, is anyone, like, there must be like hardly any 1-star reviews if these are what are getting 4.61. Like, it's so high. It's so high. Like, the pressure. And I think Words of Radiance has an even higher average, has an even higher average rating than that. Oh, yeah, Words of Radiance has 4.73. Like, wow. I haven't read that one yet, so it's obviously not on my list of highest rated books because it's not been read. But that's like quite a jump as well, from like 4.61 to 4.73. Oh. Okay, so those are my top 10 books according to Goodreads. And the thing is, as a whole, I have agreed with them. Like, I've given these books 5 stars, apart from The Complete Mouse and Crooked Kingdom. I would be interested to know what the best books you've read according to Goodreads are. I find this really interesting, and seeing how this diverts from what my actual like list is and what I think is the best books that I've read, because out of these, only 2 of these series I put on my best list. I didn't put The Way of Kings on there because I've only read the first book, and for me to put it on my list, I had to have read more than 2 books in the series, so it couldn't go on there, but potentially it would be there as and when I've read more books in that series. But out of those top 10, only 2 of those series made it onto my favourites list. Interesting. And there's definitely older books on this list. Like, there's not that many new books or books that, I mean, I read The Way of Kings this year, but that's the only one out of this list that I've read in the, The Empire of God. Okay. But like, a lot of these books are older. Like, a lot of these books are older books that have been around for many, many years and have been, I guess, accumulating ratings. Let me know what books are at the top of your Goodreads highest rated. And thank you so much for watching. Please like, comment and subscribe, and I will see you in my future videos. Bye!